Hello and welcome to today's session on Canva's Hidden Hacks. My name is Jo and I'm a Canva Learning Consultant, a Canva creator, a Canvassador, and a primary school teacher of more than 20 years. Today we're going to briefly go over what Canva for Education is and then dive a little deeper into some of the little known hacks and features within presentations, their AI functionality, their whiteboards, as well as looking at some of the new features that have recently dropped from Canva Create. We'll then have some takeaways and some resource cheat sheets for you to use at the end, so make sure you have a device ready to scan some QR codes. In the last 6 years, Canva for Education has grown to 90 million students and teachers using it on a monthly basis. It has more than 1.5 billion designs that have been created by the educator community, and the best part is that it is 100% free for K-12 schools and systems. There are 3.8 million resources available within Canva, and 80,000 of those are education specific. Though it is worth noting that the 3.8 million non-educational ones can be repurposed for an educational context. Within Canva, there is so much functionality, not only for teachers, but for upskilling digital skills within students as well. We as teachers can use this as communication tools in terms of using it for newsletters for parents, infographics for pushing information to students, but we can also get our students involved. They can jump into the recording studio and they can create videos. They can demonstrate their understanding through posters, infographics, and presentations, and they can work collaboratively on group projects within whiteboards. The best part about Canva is that it is 100% free. Now and for the entire time that you are both a student and an educator in an educational setting. And this is because the good people at Canva believe that education is a fundamental human right and is not something that should come with a price tag. Let's have a look at some of the cool presentation features that are available within Canva. A presentation is a doc type within Canva, similar to a slideshow or a PowerPoint. We can work on one of these offline by heading to our presentation on the homepage, hovering over the top right hand corner and clicking on the ellipses. This is where we can enable our offline settings so that we can work on it where we know that the internet might be patchy. I find this particularly useful when I'm traveling and I'm on an aeroplane and I don't want to buy data. It is a really cool tool for when you know that you cannot rely on the internet and you can ensure that you can still present your presentation despite lack of internet capabilities. We can also draw within present mode. So once we have opened up our presentation in full screen, we can hover down the bottom onto the little toolbar that pops up and we can annotate and highlight our text for demonstrative purposes. Magic shortcuts are some cool attention-grabbing tools that you can use when you're presenting to a team or a group of students. Once opening into a presentation mode, you can hover into the little bottom right-hand corner where you see a keyboard, and you'll be able to tap any of these buttons to turn on some interactive capabilities. There is also sound associated with each of these images and these videos to really ensure that you are grabbing the attention of your viewers. I love the remote control, and it is not a well-known hack. When, again, you are in presentation mode, you are able to go down to the bottom right-hand corner where you see the little ellipses and click on More. This is where you can then get the function to turn on your remote control either by sharing a link with somebody or scanning a QR code with your device. This enables you as the teacher to roam around the classroom and support your students at their desks and with their devices while still being able to control the screen at the front of the room. I find this one particularly useful when I'm working on hosting a presentation or a webinar with somebody that is not in the same locale as me, and we are both able to control the screen from different locations. When we think of AI, Canva gives this to us in so much more than just a ChatGPT function. We are able to create images as well as modify and manipulate ones that we have created or ones that we've uploaded to Canva. Let's check out how we can do that. Let's have a go at putting some of this to practice using Canva's Magic Studio. Background remover is found once you have selected the image that you'd like to edit. So once I tap on this little picture of an elephant here, you'll see that I've now received this big toolbar along the top here. Let's tap back out and you'll see that it's removed. Tap the image again and it will pop up again for you. Once you click on the BG remover, it is simply going to remove that background within seconds. Check out how easy that was. You can do the same thing with videos as well. Shall we have a practice with that now? I'm going to hover between the two pages here and I'm going to add a new page. Then I can head on over to my left-hand side where I have elements and I'm going to type in dinosaur. Then I'm going to ensure that I have filtered and searched for a video of a dinosaur, and once I tap on that, it's going to enter it into my design space. Once I've tapped on that dinosaur, I click on BG Remover, and within seconds the background of the dinosaur has also disappeared. Let's have a look at how we can now use Magic Eraser to remove the starfish from this image. Once I tap on that picture, to the left of the BG remover we just used, I have this edit button. Once I tap on the edit button, it's going to open up the entire Magic Studio suite here on the left-hand side. I have background remover, background generator, Magic Eraser, Magic Grab, Magic Text, Magic Edit, Magic Expand. Lots of different ones. Not all of them will we go into today, but some of the ones that we do use today you'll be able to use to help touch up photos, for posters and social media that you might be creating for your school in context. So when I hit my picture and I open up the edit button, I'm going to look for Magic Eraser. It looks like this. Once I tap on that, I can either erase or demonstrate where I'm going to be removing part of the picture by using the brush, or I can click on the click button here and I can hover over the top of which part of the picture I'd like to remove. I simply tap on the picture and I click erase, and the image is going to simply disappear from the picture completely. Now this is a little different to the one we're going to do next. You will notice that I don't have access to that starfish any longer. For the next picture, I am going to Magic Grab. So when I grab something from this picture, I will be able to take it away and reposition it somewhere else. So it's not going to erase it completely. It will separate the layers from where this turtle is and it's sitting on the sand, as well as the seal sitting on the sand. So I'm simply going to tap on the picture of this turtle. To access my Magic Studio, I head on back to Edit. And for this one, I'm going to choose Magic Grab. So let's just turn over here, grab the Magic Grab here. That looks like a hot air balloon. I'm going to click on top of the turtle, click Grab. It's going to separate the turtle from its background, and then I'll be able to move it around. See how I can now grab it and move it down here onto the ocean floor. Let's do it again one more time with the seal. I simply tap the picture, head to Edit to access my Magic Studio. I'm going to the hot air balloon imaged for the Magic Grab function. I'm going to hover over the top of my seal here, click Grab, and then it's going to separate the two parts of the picture so that I can move the seal and put him somewhere else. There we have it. Magic Edit is another really cool tool that we can use with Canva. I am going to do exactly the same here with this picture. I tap on the picture, I click on Edit, and this time I'm going to select the picture that has a hand holding a rose. Once I tap on that, I'm able to then decide which part of the picture I wanted to highlight, and then I'm going to write a prompt to replace that part of the picture with something new. So let's highlight over the top of this iPad here, and we're going to type in Open Book. Once we click Generate, it's going to give us 4 different options for us to choose. And of course, if we wanted to get really detailed, we could have put in a lot of detail into our prompt. We can always go back and regenerate if we're not happy with the result that it gives us. But it's simply going to take that picture away, and it's going to give us a substitute image there. So see how my tablet's now gone, and I have the option of 4 different types of books to add to that picture now. Okay. So they are just some of the Magic Studio functions that Canva has available. There are a lot more, which I would love to dive into a little deeper with you in a later session. But I really am excited to show you some of the cool new features that Canva Create has just dropped, and that's been made available for Canva for Education users from the 20th of May. Let's check them out. Canva Create is an annual showcase of the new features that Canva works on all year long to continue to update and build the most up-to-date and contemporary platform for you. You can still watch the Canva Create session. The keynote video is still available online. It's a lot of fun with some catchy jingles in there as well. One of my most favorite drops that they have released is the new Visual Suite 2.0, where we can now collate a variety of different doc types in the one template. This is absolutely game-changing in terms of educational value, where students can demonstrate a variety of different types of learning in the one link, and where teachers can demonstrate student performance to parents within a portfolio. So exciting. Let's have a look at what it looks like. In this particular scenario, we have a student portfolio where we have a title page with a photo and a table of contents. We're able to hyperlink each of these so that we can link them to different pages so that it makes it a really interactive experience. We can then insert any different templates that students have made and created to demonstrate their understanding. That might include worksheets or posters, videos, photos, slideshows and collages, websites and presentations. It's a really neat way for you to be able to collate a lot of different learning throughout a school term or semester, and to be able to show that within one public view link to the viewer or the stakeholder in that child's education. Another really exciting drop is the Canva Code for Me. Let's watch it in action. From your homepage from the 20th of May, you'll be able to access Code for Me if it's been enabled by your schooling district. You simply type a prompt and your Code for Me is going to build for you a tailor-made manipulative or digital tool that you may need to use within your educational context that you can drop straight into your learning management system or into a presentation or a template for students to be able to access. So think about the fact that you might be teaching the zones of regulation to students. You'll be able to create an interactive activity for students to be able to demonstrate how they're feeling, identify how they're feeling and why. Perhaps it's interactive in that they need to choose different parts of the body where they can feel anxieties or worries or excitement or silliness. They might be able to type responses. They could potentially open up doors and unlock new pages within your Code for Me for greater interactivity and student feedback. We may even be able to create games such as Snap and Memory. You might create visual timetables, interactive dice and rulers for your maths learning. Whatever it may be, it is literally only bound by your imagination. So let's have a look at one example of what I have created using Canva Code for Me. When I was thinking about doing a solar system activity, I could have spent hours online looking for a website where I was able to find or generate a game like this. Perhaps I would have needed to have paid for a subscription. Maybe I would need to have 27 tabs open whilst I am, trying to deliver the one lesson. But for this particular activity, I was able to simply jump on, ask Canva Code for Me to create a memory flashcard game where I'm able to tap on the different flashcards and find their partner. I'm then able to grab the public view link of this and I can add it straight to my learning management system for my students to be able to access as well. So that's really exciting in terms of AI and being able to generate really specific activity that is curriculum aligned and targeted to your educational needs. Now, whiteboards, when you'd said this to me a year ago, I may have gone, wow, that's kind of, a bit nerve-wracking being able to manage the student behavior of primary school students, particularly within a collaborative space such as whiteboards. But Canva's made it really easy with their sticky note functionality. Once you're in a collaborative space such as a whiteboard where all students are working within the one space, there are opportunities here for you to have conversations about user technology agreements and respecting the rights of other people's work. But the sticky note function makes it really easy. You simply click the letter S and it will add a sticky note to your whiteboard where your students are able to type in responses or make reflections or contribute ideas on a collaborative space. And when the students type into that sticky note, it'll actually type their name will appear on that sticky note. If they then attempt to type into somebody else's sticky note, it will change the name. So that's a really amazing tool that Canva has included in there for a little bit of classroom management. There are also some other functions that you can use using your sticky notes within a whiteboard. You can ask the students to maybe show a traffic light level of understanding by changing the color of their sticky notes to red, green, or orange to show their level of understanding. And you can then sort those sticky notes according to color or content or reactions, simply by selecting those sticky notes and then going to the sort button and sorting them according to that category. We can also react within a whiteboard on each other's sticky notes. So simply tap on the sticky note that you have read and it resonates with you, and you can leave a reaction there to show your support with that person that's contributed to that whiteboard. We can also create summaries. If we have 30 students all contributing different sticky notes and different content within a whiteboard, we can simply click on the magic pen once we have selected all of the sticky notes, and we can create a summary to find really easily in a quick snapshot what contributions everybody gave. And it is a really easy way for us to not feel too overwhelmed by the sheer amount of content that's been contributed by multiple people. Let's have a look at some teacher tips and tricks now. This is one of my favorites. This is where we can enable quick flow by using any of the preset shapes that Canva has available in the Elements library. So once you add a star or a rectangle, a square or a circle to your design space, you simply right click on it to ensure that your quick flow is enabled. And then you can create a flow chart to show your design process or your thinking process. And you can type straight into the sticky note. You can change colors. You can also double tap on the line in between the two squares, and you can add little headers and titles within there as well. I think it's a really easy way for us to show our thinking in a collaborative space as well as on our individual work. We can also create from outside of Canva simply by typing in the following into a web address. We type in the doc type .canva.new, and it will, from outside of Canva, create us a new template. You can do the same with presentations and video as well. So lots of different ways that you can use this without having to actually physically be within Canva. That is a cool hack that is not widely known, but one that's very useful nonetheless. The Tidy Up tool is absolutely game-changing when you want to provide something that looks really polished to your students or to the end user. I can use elements, lines, text, video, pictures, whatever it may be. I simply need to predetermine where I want the first and the last one to sit. So for this example, I'm putting the top line where I want it to sit and the bottom line. I select all and I click position. I can also access position by right-clicking. And then when I tap on Tidy Up, it is going to evenly space that for me. Look at how much neater that looks than sitting there and trying to gauge or judge that by eye. I can do exactly the same by heading over to my elements and typing in a subject matter. I can resize and reposition those pictures where I want them to be, and remembering I can do this with text as well. I simply need to predetermine where I want the first dinosaur to sit and the last dinosaur to sit. And then I see how they're not looking very nice and neat. I simply select them all, head to position, click on Tidy Up. I have the option for vertical and horizontal as well, but I'm going to click Tidy Up for this, and it's going to position them all nice and neatly in a row. Frames are also really cool when you want to add a photo or a video to a specific size, shape, or letter. You head on over to Elements and you scroll down to Frames and Grids. Grids will give you a bunch of preset collage styles and types with anywhere between 2 and 12 different types of image layouts. But Frames is really cool because you can get different shapes and sizes, numbers and letters, where you can simply drag and drop a photo or a video in and it will snap to the shape of the frame. For this particular one, I've simply grabbed some different pictures of art, hovered it over the letters, and it's dropped straight in there. So now I've got a really eye-catching heading. I can double tap on each of the different pictures inside of the frame to readjust the size or its position within the frame as well. All right, let's move on to some cool cheat sheets for teachers. Once you are in the editor, we are able to use a variety of different cheat sheet shortcuts to help really make and streamline your design process a little better. If you click on the letter T, you are going to be able to add a text box straight away into your design. You will have to double tap into that text box to edit the content just as you would in other software programs. Clicking the letter R will add a rectangle that you can adjust and use for quick flow purposes as well. The same thing for the letter C, that will add a circle straight to your design. If you tap on the letter L, it's going to add a line straight into your page, and you can adjust this line by its width and thickness as well as turning it into a serrated line if needed. We also have some template shortcuts, so if you're a specialist teacher or if you're looking for something specific, Canva has template shortcuts, and I'll tell you where you can access this link in a moment. These shortcuts will take you to anywhere from different comic strips to posters, certificates, websites, virtual classrooms, agendas, and infographics. The list goes on. Grab out your phones now, because within here are a whole bunch of QR codes that you'll be able to use when you go and apply Canva in your everyday teaching and learning program. We do have a back to school collection which has a variety of different meet the teachers and getting to know you activities. So for those in the Northern Hemisphere who are winding down for the end of the year, this is a really good one for you to be able to save and come back to towards the end of your summer break and to be able to use when you head back to school later on this year. Now, this is one, if you're going to scan anything today, this is the one to scan. This is the one that will have access to your template links that I showed you just beforehand. It also has access to a variety of different playbooks, cheat sheets, links to take you to design, school, and certifications. There is so much within here. It is the hub of all things Canva for education. If you are new to Canva and you're not really sure where to start, this website is going to walk you through how to become an absolute Canva for Education pro. There are a variety of different certifications that Canva also provides for you as teachers and for your students as well. So scan this code here and you can complete one of the self-paced 1-hour courses that will give you a lovely certificate for your socials and bragging rights, but also to really help you upskill within Canva for Education. We also have, aside from the Teacher Essential Skills, there's an AI in the Classroom course, a Canva Essentials course, there is a Student Essentials course and a Graphic Design course as well. We have teacher playbooks that really help our specialist teachers to be able to level up their game within Canva and to ensure that they're able to easily get their students online as well. It's also worth noting that all of Canva for Education templates have been created by educators for educators, so you can rest assured knowing that they are curriculum aligned and that have been created by people who do what you do every single day. They understand what your needs are as a teacher and they know how to best suit your students' needs as well. So I really just wanted to say a big thank you for sharing your time with me today. I really hope that you were able to take something away from here and that you learned something new. And as always, as we say in Canva, happy designing.